Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Breaking SMP. Today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently because we are going to be doing a world tour. Now, I was going to do this probably in a little while, but the world's getting pretty big and I think if we don't do it sooner rather than later, then it might become a feature-length film more than an episode. So that's why we're going to do it now once I kill these pillagers here. But what I think we'll do is we'll visit all of the stuff that I had a part in building, and then we'll visit the shopping district and check out everything there. And who knows, we'll probably go from there. So the first thing, I guess, to see is the T.A.L.C Base. We built this a while back, and the interior design was made by Cortez Areno, as I said in the video where we made it. And then I kind of branched out a bit because what he had in his tutorial on how to make it was he had a tree above it. And this would be kind of sunk like in the ground a little bit underwater. And then you'd have like a ladder right here and another portal enchanting table, something like that. And that was it, right? It was contained. But I decided to build this completely underground in the mountain, of course. And then we added this door here and our big fancy emerald door. And then instead of just keeping this as like everything in the circle, what we did was we added the elevator over here, which I still haven't really touched up. And we were going to expand like deep in the mountain and make all our farms. But really in the end, when everyone else was making their farms, we just didn't really have a need for it. So, hello. Can I help you? Okay. But so I only ended up making the melon and pumpkin farm here. And then there was the big, like, deep hole over here, which was going to be kind of the centerpiece of the base. But I decided after to expand it outwards instead of, like, into the mountain. As you see here, this would have been kind of cool. You could fly down into the entrance, and then the whole base would revolve around this intersection here. But if we go back inside, we can just look at some of the other stuff that we built in here, such as the furnace system. If I can get over this. But yeah, over here we have the smeltery. We never finished this room actually. That's a common theme here. Get something functional and then just kind of let it go. But we have the enchanting table over here and then the super smelter over there. And this was actually used to access the super smelter because this is a huge smelter, by the way. There is 25 hoppers on each, or 25 furnaces with hoppers on top on each row. So in total there's 100 furnaces and it smelts everything super duper quick, of course. That's why it's a super duper smelter and not a super smelter. And it's all powered using these carpet duplicators here on the side. I forget originally because I used a design and then I modified it a bit to kind of fit what worked for us, because from what I saw, they used a similar loading system, so that's what I used. But they was wrapped around and had 200 furnaces, I think, and a different carpet duper system, and then a shulker loader. But I kind of like trimmed it down and changed a few things just to fit our design here. So if you come over here, then what we have is the loading system. So you just flip this lever and while it doesn't look the best, you can see all the carpets start to pile in, and it goes down these paths right here. And it goes all the way around, and there's so much that I had to put cactuses at the end just to stop it from completely lagging out, because each of these is completely filled with carpet, and then there's carpet in here, and oh, there's too much carpet. And it all comes out right here. But if we come over here to the other side of the base, we have our boardroom. So I wanted to do something cool, of course, with the whole business theme of this world, and that was obviously building a boardroom. So we got this elevator here and it goes all the way up. The white shulker boxes don't look the best, but it was the only thing that worked. And this place is filled with pillagers too, I see. But here we have the boardroom. So this was made by Time earlier in the season, and I can't remember why I got him to build this, but basically I hired his building services because obviously any good company needs a very opulent boardroom to show off their wealth. Just need some richer blocks because we have so many emeralds now. But we have an entire map here of the T.A.L.C area. I haven't fully updated it to reflect our current situation here. This is all filled too, and some over here. I think it goes just, it's like up to here. It's where the big garbage pile is. But it looks very cool, as you can see. We got the nether portal there and leading up to the path. But I really like this place, especially the detail here on the side, which includes all the heads of the players I killed during the hunted. I think it's 12? Something like that, I don't know. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 12. But we have all of our boardroom members here, and then my chair right here. And one other thing is this lever here. Now hopefully I can get down here without dying. But obviously, you know, we need it to be intimidating. So what's more intimidating than a pit with a giant... That's not a giant beast. Are you making friends down? Oh no. It seems he's made some friends. Let's get out of here. Okay. But yeah, we have the Rancor down there. That was a really fun video where we took the Rancor and we moved him in downstairs. And I think he's happy in his little dark pit being fed pillagers all day. Though it seems he's been making friends with them. Which is not ideal. Alright, so if we head back down to the main base, we'll just go out the front door and I can show you some of the other stuff at our magnificent headquarters. Ow. What is it? I really dislike these pillagers. Just a side note, if you ever think about living near a pillager tower, don't. I chose this spot, specifically like this side of the mountain compared to the other one, because of the pillager tower, right? There's the big cave in front, the pillager tower. I was like, oh yeah, I'll make a raid farm, it'll be great, right? I didn't know that you don't need a pillager tower for a raid farm. So, we're stuck with dealing with the pillagers the entire time, which is really not fun. Oh, one other note though in this base here is this ceiling. See, originally I just had like leaves and glowstone on top, but it really didn't look right, especially because the video by Cortez Reno, he had water above it and then you actually see the sky. So what I did was we made map art, me and Hulk, with I think it was a 256 by 256 of all packed ice. And then we made maps of it and just stuck them on the ceiling, which some might say is a bit laggy because there is 1,600 entities in this area. A lot of them are the item frames of maps, especially the ones over there, here. The furnace system's pretty laggy. But you know, I think it's fine. It's better to have a nice ceiling than a smooth game, am I right? Oh, we should sleep. Thank you, Mike. Anyways, we have the few buildings around here next, actually. So that would be the Cactus Farm over here. Please stop shooting me. Oh, I dodged that one. We have the Cactus Farm over here, and I don't know why I made this. I think I needed green dye for something. Probably all the lime concrete around, right? But I needed a Cactus Farm, and I thought, you know what? We should make our farms look like office buildings. So the whole idea was to have littered around just this whole mountain range with office buildings. And we have like 2, 3, I guess. Not as many as I had hoped for, but you know, it's not too bad. I gotta get rid of the stick. I keep using it. There. And then we have the one with the pillager tower, which we thought would fix our pillager problem if I just encased it. It did not. As you can see, they are still attacking me. There. But yeah, I think these look pretty good, and when you look at the mountain from afar, it looks pretty good. Same with these pipes. They're not done, but Flamingo's working on them, and that is for our smoggity smoke that will come out of the super smelter, because, you know, we don't want all that toxic fumes inside the base, of course. Another thing over here is our water tower, which seems to have been filled with lava because one day I was up here working on the mountain and living in this nice house, and I noticed there was a lot of chickens on this mountain. So I put 2 and 2 together, and yeah, that was shooting eggs out. So I went inside the egg, but there was 3 creepers sitting inside the egg. Wait, now I'm calling it the egg. Everyone calls it the egg, and I always call it the water tower because it's not an egg. It's filled with eggs, but it was a nice water tower, and yeah, the creepers blew up. So I just never bothered to fix it. Not sure why the lava was in there though, but I just decided to keep it because it looked kind of cool, and then I stopped it from destroying the whole area. But then we have this thing over here. This is a great building. I like it a lot. This is for the creeper farm that we built early on in episode 4. My video timeline, I guess, for the episodes that came out is really weird, right? 1 to 4 came out super quickly, and then I guess 5 through whatever. What is this? 14, I think. Took forever to come out. So whoops. But this creeper farm was what made T.A.L.C rich. It's our bread and butter, right? The fireworks shop at the shopping district. While it's not too profitable now, it was really successful in the beginning. That's how we made all of our diamonds, and, well, that and mining way too many. But, oh, wait, this was blown up. I didn't realize that this might be why it's not working well. Yeah, this is barely picking up the gunpowder. No wonder why it's not working. Somebody must have came in here. Oh well, that's fine. I'll fix it later. But this creeper farm is pretty efficient, and we built it only in like 2 hours. And then I built a building around it because, you know, it didn't look good enough. Then I put a giant T.A.L.C sign on it because it needed to be more opulent. Then we put tinted glass here because, well, the creepers weren't spawning when I took away the umbrella. But the tinted glass, it really fits the look and makes it functional. So, you know, I think that worked out well. And of course, building wasn't enough, so I built a giant statue of me on top. Because what else would I do? And what's next? Over here, more pillagers and a little farm from the beginning. A lot of garbage. House Flamingo didn't finish. But if you come down here, down to where the mob mulch sits, we have a giant slime farm that is taking up the spot that the Pit of Death used to be. So this slime farm was made by Average because he owed me a lot. For what, I can't remember. But he decided to build this for us, and it took him forever. He did it in like 2 days, which was pretty insane. And yeah, I mean, we dug the pit. Many people died in this pit. I think there might have been like 1 or 2 people that have visited the pit before now, of course, and actually gotten out alive without dying at least once. So, you know, I think this is pretty impressive. And that's really it for this cave. I had so many plans and ideas. Maybe they'll get done. Who knows? Like a giant construction setup down here, right? Like with drills and cranes and stuff. Bright yellow, like lighting up the cave. I think that'd be really cool. But if we go over here towards the other side of the base, okay, good, I got plenty of fireworks. We have the sugarcane farm, and it has some bamboo in it because you can't actually use all the spaces for it. But unfortunately, the bamboo actually grows as much as all of this sugarcane here. So the chests are constantly full. Then we have the iron farm over here, which, I mean, it was just used to make iron. It's really not that special. Then we have the villager breeder over here made by bags. There's a common theme, right? We just export or outsource all of our building needs that we don't want to do here, right? And this was going to be a really like fun project, but we never really got around to it after we got the villager breeder here and then the trading hall over here. But we actually didn't use the villagers at least yet. You know, I mean, there's, oh wow, that's loud. There's quite a few in here, and I was going to use them for bricks, but as you can see, none of them are leveled up. So, yeah, that didn't happen. But what did happen was we made the warehouses, which people started to say looked like Dusty Depot, because originally we just had this one here for the sheep, and then I added a second one, and yeah, now we built Dusty Depot. And a chunk of my floor is missing apparently, but again, whatever. I'll have to do some repairs soon. But we made this wool farm here for the big shop in the shopping district, right? We wanted to sell everything. That's what the cactus was for, the sugarcane for rockets, iron, the gold farm, everything was for the purpose of making us money. This wool farm did not turn out to make us money. Oh, well, there's a lot of wool we could sell there now, but the rival wool shop of King and Citrus was much more popular. Just goes to prove what good marketing does. But then over here on this hill we have the flower farm in this greenhouse looking thing. And yeah, this was, well, we made it to get blue dye, but I don't think we actually ended up using all that much blue dye. Maybe a bit for the casino in like that one glass wall in the fish tank, but this was yet another farm that really didn't serve a purpose after a while. So over here we have the map arts. So this first one here I already talked about. This was the giant sheet of ice that gave us a ceiling in the T.A.L.C Base. But this one over here was for advertising. So we needed all these shulkers full of stuff. Probably should have brought them back because I think they're all empty. But here we have the giant propaganda sign, and it says, Riley says shop at T.A.L.C. And it doesn't look too good there, but if I had a map, and I'll show it once we get to the shopping district, but if I had a map, it would actually look pretty good. And this was just for marketing. It didn't really serve a purpose. I'm sure somebody thought it was cool, but we spent way too much time on this for something we hardly ever see. Over here is Nick's house, which he was with us for, I don't know, 2 days. Obviously he was in the first episode. We had our grand adventure to show up here, and he started this house, but he never actually finished it, so it just kind of sits here, unfortunately. But we have the canal that we entered through here. I remember the very first day. It was great. See, Caves and Cliffs had just come out. I never played any of the snapshots because I wanted to experience it when it came out. And just look at this terrain here. Imagine like no elytra here, just boating through this area for the first time, not knowing where you're going. And then we also had 3 mushrooms and a polar bear with us. Unfortunately, Winston never got to the base, but there he sits. He's got food at least. But there's one more thing I gotta show here actually. I keep forgetting all these things, but that's our giant nuclear cooling tower here. See, we needed a lot of power at the T.A.L.C headquarters, so this is where it all came from. Because, you know, at least we're doing one thing good for the environment, right? Now I think it's time we leave the headquarters for now, and we'll come back later, but let's look at the shopping district and some of the things we got scattered around. The zombie is going to try and kill me, isn't he? Nope, he's gone. The first thing over here is the gold farm, and we built this around episode 7.5. It's the only time I made a half video, but that would be this right here. I needed gold for something, but mainly XP, right? See, we had the Enderman farm, but it was manual, and this thing gives you so much XP really quickly, so I just would sit here and get it all. And then also it gave us gold, which we then used for piglin trading, thanks to Tinsir making this thing down here for us. And this gave us plenty of items that we could sell, and I think we actually made quite a bit of money on the quartz here, which is all sold out, and then the obsidian and a few other things here. So that was really nice, and I think it helped us a lot. Then over here we have the map. Void started this, and unfortunately didn't get very far because it was a huge project, and I don't blame them. But you know, we supplied all the concrete for this and the glass, and, you know, I think that was our contribution to the world because, you know, we can't be completely evil, right? And I ended up building quite a bit of the top area here, I think. Whoops. The top area just up here. Yeah, I built some of this here. And why does this look smaller than it did? I don't know. I can't really remember. Maybe, yeah, see, that's the problem, right? It needed to be huge. And that took a lot of time. But, you know, whatever. But over here we have the T.A.L.C billboard, which is currently being attacked by a giant moss monster, as I discovered last episode. Why? Whoops. Why? I am not too sure. But, it's a pretty cool looking monster, at least. I couldn't have asked for a better, adversary here. Now the only thing is, will insurance cover that? I don't know. But here is the shopping district. We'll go through the original portal just for fun. And we will see where the first shop of T.A.L.C used to live. So obviously this was first portal here when it used to sit on a mushroom long time ago. And we had... No, that's not mine. We had the emerald here, and then we also had another shop right here, which is gone. It was stolen. But that was the miscellaneous... No. Miscellaneous marketplaces. That one. Too many shops, too many alliterations, alright? But this one was the mushroom market, actually. And it seems to have drifted out to sea. And that was a very successful business venture, might I say. We made plenty of diamonds off of it. Just trust me. I think we made one sale overall. But right next to that would have been the T.A.L.C just emerald conversion thing. Who's NSE? Is that like the IRS? Okay. But yeah, we had our T.A.L.C token exchange thing with our very threatening legal notice. We're hoping somebody would fall for it and we could just kind of take all their stuff. Didn't work, unfortunately. But as you also saw over here, this was the propaganda poster here. Because I put around these nice looking boards here, and I think they look pretty good. And it was at a time where there was a lot of just advertising all around the shopping district. It got really messy really quickly, so we used these to just clean things up, and then I cleared them weekly. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And we also have this list of shops here. So there's tons of shops on this store, and there's also a bunch that I don't think are on here because we kind of stopped adding to this list a while ago. There's so many shops around here, like King's Wool, our competitor, unfortunately, and this Enderman shop, which sold out and was never restocked, unfortunately. Harwood has his little shack here with all sorts of things, including all the tinted glass. I think he sold out after we bought it all. Like his tinted glass, that was really useful. We have the barrel with our rocket shop. It was the T.A.L.C Pyroporium. Don't know why somebody put keg on it. But the T.A.L.C Pyroporium was a little mushroom with a rocket on top. And it looked pretty good, but it wasn't good enough, so we upgraded it a while back. And now it looks pretty good, I think. And then across the way we have Lefty's Redstone Shop. And then Lefty's Block of the Day Shop, which both have been sold out, unfortunately. And then we have Average's Shop, which has had a huge makeover somewhat recently. And he finally opened the rest of the shop inside, which includes this map here. So you can see all of the biomes in the shopping district, actually, right? We got the casino area, which no one seems to have built in that area yet. We got the birch forest. We got the city area, which has a few buildings now, like the Moscow headquarters, miscellaneous marketplace, and then two other shops here, King's Flowers and Tinseer's, I think he called it the Terracotta Warrior or something like that. The Blackstone biome, the community district, which was going to be kind of like a redwood forest type idea, and then a Mesa, and then of course the jungle, which is huge because this was before we had our concrete plan, right? To oh, I thought that was a banner. It's just the lock shop. Which you know, we had our plan. We were going to transform the island off of a mushroom biome, but we had already built in this area first, and everyone thought it was going to be entirely a jungle, so we just kept that as a jungle and then changed out the rest. So this is the most concentrated area in here, and then everything else is pretty thin. And then also we have Rockling's snow biome, which is so detailed with all the the different layers of powdered snow. And then we have the gold biome, which has nothing in it yet, unfortunately. But Average here, he sells some redstone things, which are pretty useful. I don't think the heads are for sale. And then he also sells some pretty powerful armor. Moving on, though, we go down the street, headed to Corporation Crescent. But on the way, we will stop at the Beacon Shop, which cost a lot to buy out, let me say. For only having 4 items in there, it was still a stack of diamonds. But that was also made by King. But now we're over here on Corporation Crescent, and this is where all the talk shops were going to be built before we decided to spread them out a little more. So we have Acme's Anvils, which is obviously the company from Coyote and the Roadrunner, which sold Wile E. Coyote all of his nefarious things, such as anvils he tried to drop on the Roadrunner. It stood for a company making everything, but this company here only made anvils. So we had some pretty valuable ones. They all got broken, unfortunately, because there wasn't many anvils in the shopping district, and people needed to repair things, I guess. So in the end, we didn't actually sell anything, and we lost these nice monuments here. See, I don't know whose head was that. I think that was Flamingo's that was there. But what we had was these anvils here were actually used to kill Bangs, Flamingo, and Hawk. There was a few clips of that. It was really fun. And then over here we have the Loan Shark, which was my get-rich-quick scheme that no one fell for. So the Loan Shark was going to be, well, a loan shark. The idea was it was kind of like a Western style building, like Lone, L-O-N-E, like the lonely shark. But it was actually a loan shark in disguise, so somebody that would give you a ton of money, but you would have to pay it back with a lot of interest. So really, it's just a scam. And here is Concrete Convenience. All your concrete for convenience, I guess. This was pretty good. Originally, we had just stocked it up a bit, but we started taking custom orders, and that's where the money really was. So that's what this pipe here is. We would put that chest here, and so many people ordered concrete. The amount of white concrete we must have sold, I think, was insane. But moving on, here we have the Bookworm, which was also Lefty's shop. And this sold books. We bought most of them, but some are restocked. This was such a cool design. It's like a worm coming out of the ground, and then somebody turned into a wizard later on, which he's holding an ice cream sandwich for some reason. But that was really cool. And actually, you know what? We should be following the past. What am I doing? Because we almost missed Harwood's shop here. Tridents are us. Tridents are pretty hard to come by, but he made a trident farm so everyone could get their tridents, and that was really cool. I don't have mine on me. I keep losing them. That's the issue. I throw them into the void or lava, and then I just lose them. It sucks. But this over here was something cool. This was one of the greatest things I think that happened on the server, and this was the Hunted. So I won the Hunted, obviously. Well, I won through nefarious ways by buying people's lives and just going on a murderous rampage. But you know what? A win is still a win, even if I didn't actually become profitable from the prize. So the way it worked was, this was Wild's game, by the way. You would pick 2 pieces of paper, and each week these people would be the hunted. So everyone wants to kill them, and whoever kills them gets a point. But also the point values shifted each week. So sometimes traps were worth more. So even if people weren't online, you still had to watch out. So the first week it was actually King here, and Pom Pom was hunted too, right? Yeah, I killed him at one point, I think. my name in here? Ah, yes, the winner. Is there no item frame? There was an item frame over here. Let me just frame this. There. And then over here we had Rockwell Shop. He recently moved this, but this was the first shop on the server, and I think it might have been the most profitable on the server. Definitely cost the most for us to buy out, because he had some really expensive things, like stacks of obsidian, naturally harvested, of course. No piglin trading. He had dragon heads, 1 diamond each, and he had elytra, which was his big like ticket item, and shulker shells. He made so many diamonds. And then he also had this rocks repairs here, which really fits nicely under the hill. Like, look how close it is for the redstone. And this is, you just, you pick whether you had netherite tools, that's pretty expensive, diamond tools, or a bow, and then you just hit that, you put some, you put your diamond here, and then you can get some bottles of enchanting, which is pretty cool if you don't want to go to a farm. And then this was, Time built this, but he sold it to Skully, and I don't think anything ever came of it, but this was a bounty hunting service. So there was a point where Time would just kill anyone and everything, and he wanted to capitalize on that, I guess. But it's a pretty cool building, and it really stands out because of its height. Then coming down here, we have kind of an intersection here. I really like this area of the shopping district. It's kind of like a few points come together here, right? We got Time's shop, and that's connected to Moscow. And then we have Pattat Shop here, which has this nice little tower here. And this was fully automated shop. So you just toss your thing in there and then pay, and it's all fully automated. It's really cool. Then we have Luna's Emporium, but that's on the other side of the street. Though I think we could just jump through the window here. Maybe not. Oh no, we can. This was a very expensive shop as well. Lots of cool stuff here. We also have Bangs McGee's shop. We're really speeding through this because I want the video to be like 2 hours long. But we have Bangs McGee's shop, and this was a wagon. I think this was shared with Pom Pom. Maybe, I don't know. But it sold a few different cool items, and then there was also Berry of Bangs right here, which I bought out, and I still need to kill her like 25 times, just for good measure, because you could buy her life, because the way that it works on this server is we have a death counter in the top corner, well, middle of the screen, and obviously people are competing to have the lowest amount of deaths, but Bangs want to have more diamonds instead, I suppose, because she offered to sell her life, which is fun, because I got to drop anvils on people, so I like that. And here we have Moscow, which I'm going to talk really loudly over this music just because I like to not be copyright claimed. But we have a few different things in Moscow here, and that would be the fireworks and the slime blocks and moss. And man, this song is long. Okay, there we go. Good. Yeah, Moscow sold a few different things, notably green items. They are T.A.L.C's rival in the business world because we don't believe in all that, right? We want power and money, and they want plants. So, a little bit of a difference there, but this is a really cool shop. Wired did he definitely did the roof. I think he did the inside here too. And this involves a lot more redstone than some of the other shops here because we just did it on our system. Don't know how much we lost, but there's good people in the server. I don't think we were robbed all too often. And here is their profits, I suppose, which not bad. I don't know if that's solid or not, but let's just say T.A.L.C is doing good. And Wired has his shop in here. This is the other side of Moscow, which is Time's portion of it. Wired had his Emporium here. And then Time has his stuff in here, which includes like terracotta, sand, glass, a lot of grindy blocks, which you wouldn't want to get in bulk. Then you had an axolotl pond here, which you could adopt a little friend. They all sold out and never got back in stock, unfortunately. But this is still a really cool building. Then over here we have Tinseer's Ocean Monument, which is cool. I really like the scale he built this on. It looks like an ocean temple still. The scale's not wonky, but it looks nice. I like it. And he was obviously a part of T.A.L.C. And this was a really cool shop because he had the only guardian farm on the server, so he could really monopolize on that. This over here was Vortex's enchantments. Always reminded me of like a drive-through or something, right? He sold a lot of books too, like Luna and Lefty, and they were all really successful actually. This over here was Len's Redstone shop. He sold a lot of redstone components as well. We bought from that a lot. Here's our propaganda poster. And over here is Mike's courtyard type thing. Originally there was, I think it was just this shop over here, Tips and Tricks, which he made, which sold diamond armor and blaze rods and a few other like different items, which were cool. Then he expanded out here and started selling arrows, which was pretty cool because villagers were needed for that, and not everyone had villagers. I know we didn't, and then we did, and then we never used them, but you know. And then he had his inside portion here, which is cool. He's got end crystals and blaze rods, emerald blocks for some reason, and then he had a little elevator here just so you could get back to the top here, which brings us to Wired's rocket shop. He decided he wanted to go in competition with T.A.L.C, which is unacceptable to say the least. But we had a little back and forth where we kept changing our rocket prices, and eventually we both just made less money because we made it so 3 stacks per diamond. Originally it was like 1 stack per diamond, and we made a killing on that. But then, you know, the gravy train ended when we went into competition with each other. Then over here we have Red's bone shop. She had a skeleton spawner, so she decided to just sell bones and arrows, and you know, I think people bought from that a lot actually. Then over here we have Crazing's shop, and this was a bunch of miscellaneous items here, right? So we had different, he sorted this out by price of the chest. So this was 4 diamonds per, I guess it is a very special trapdoor. 4 diamonds per clump, 1 diamond for 3, 1 for 2, and 1 diamond per clump. And this was probably pretty profitable at the beginning, but unfortunately I don't think it was ever really restocked. But it was cool to see what sorts of things he had. It was like an antique shop almost. Then we have the Gallows here, which is pretty cool. We originally had one right over here, but it was torn down eventually. And a lot of different things happened here, which was fun for like roleplay situations. Over here we have the Geode Enchanter, and I made this because, you know, before we decided to turn evil and use everyone for profits, we needed to do something for the community so they didn't hate us. And that was this Geode Enchanter, right? Geodes were just added to the game, and yeah, I think it was a pretty cool build to build at the beginning of 1.18, and it really fit how the like Enchanter. You can still get 30 levels here, and it flows with the. I'm gonna stop explaining it because I can't. But yeah, the public Enchanter brought to you by T.A.L.C. Then moving up here, we have the I guess the valley over here, with the Tips and Tricks down there and all of Mike's other shops, which leads us to this path here, which brings us to Wired's most profitable shop by far, I'd say, where he sold netherite and this anvil apparently. But this was modeled after Doctor Strange, I believe. I don't really keep up with any of that, sorry, so I don't really know. But this was like a beast coming out of a portal or something, and it sold ancient debris and netherite, which was pretty cool. So if we come back over here and get things back on track, we can go up this path here to the furnace. Hold on, what's it called? Radness's fuel shop. Okay, so, oh no, just burn it. Okay, yeah, I knew it had a name. And he sold all sorts of things related to fuel, because at the beginning of the server, a lot of us had trouble finding coal. I found a lot of it because I was in the mountain and couldn't find diamonds. Everyone else was the opposite. They had diamonds but no fuel. Radness saw an opportunity and started selling coal and lava buckets and campfires and A lot of things related to fire. I should probably be worried about him. And over here we have Pattat Shop. This was like a cool like marketplace type idea. Sold a few different things like arrows, enchanted weapons, different blocks, TNT, which I hope a lightning doesn't strike somehow at an angle here and lights that. And then over here, oh wait, what's this? This was an April Fool's shop actually, I believe. I haven't actually been in here in a while, but this was for a April Fool's type thing. A few people got in on that and did like an event type deal. Would have been cool to see. And here Pattat sold cats. I'm not sure if any of these are still mine because when we bought out the shopping district, we had to buy all these cats too. So for a while there was a bunch of our cats just around the shopping district. But that was a pretty good shop because, you know, no one wanted to go find cats on their own. And then of course we have this big pit here, which, you know, I wish we did something with this. We chose this seed actually because of this Mushroom Island and how it had this massive cave here. And this is a pretty big cave system down here, but we planned to have the shopping district like underground in parts. But I think there's only one shop underground somewhere, and that's Wilds, and I don't even know where it is. I went there once and got lost and could never find my way back. But would have been cool to see that, but for now we just have a giant like cliffside here, and I think it looks really cool. But moving back over here, if we kind of like go about the shopping district in a pattern here, we'll come back over here and we'll see Wired's other nether themed shop. And this is where he sold the different Nether Woods. This tree is so cool. It's like a hybrid between a warped and a crimson tree, and I think it's so cool. Especially like the height compared to all the other buildings. It seems to be a bit of a tower theme in this area, but still, I think this was so cool. Then we have Luna's plant shop over here, and this was just by the Magical Emporium. But this sold like all the logs and a bunch of different plants, which is pretty cool. It's like a nice little greenhouse, which looked pretty good in this area. It's right across the street from Oda's honey shop. He did some remodeling earlier in the season, but this eventually became free bee stuff. And once again, I'm going to leave the area because copyright claim. But that is the Winnie the Pooh theme, which I really like. I think at one point I mentioned the it reminded me of like the honey tree, the old like design shop, and now he's got the theme in it, which is great. It's so cool. Then over here we have a giant pit that Time needs to fill in. I'm hoping for a shop here, but so far it's just a pit. But over here we have our slime shop. It was not very profitable at all. It's just a basic slime statue. I mean, everyone's built a slime statue at one point in Minecraft, right? But not a pretty basic pedestal. But you know, I thought it was mildly cool. At least we got like a slime block bouncer right to get in here. No one could figure out how to use this thing, so we made no money because everyone was going like this. I had a sign here saying go at an angle, but it's gone now. I don't know. That shop failed. But then over here we have Harwood's like Greek temple looking thing. This was so cool. I saw him build this as he was doing it, and he's got a bit of a futuristic theme here with like the lamps and stuff. I keep hitting that button. And he sold quartz here. Obviously, you can tell it's a very opulent temple here. The I don't know if that's snow or concrete, but it mixes nicely actually. This was such a cool temple though, and I bought a lot of this quartz for my casino. Following the path now we're actually leaving the jungle, and we're gonna go into the snow area. This is what I was talking about earlier. Rockling's like attention to detail. Like, look at this. How many snow layers must he have placed to build this? Because it's so detailed, and we actually had to get a data pack, which I believe he made himself, and that was to make it so these snow layers didn't melt with light, just so we could actually get something like this that looks so cool. This is a really cool area, and I like that not many people actually built their shops out here eventually, because it keeps the feel, right? It's kind of barren, but also cozy at night when you have the lanterns. And one of the shops in here, probably I think one of the biggest. There's two big shops here. This is Rockling's new shop, which is where he sells his elytra now. And as you can see, he has, I don't know why that's in there. He has been hard at work, getting bottles of enchanting, all the different ices. I mean, powered snow isn't that hard, I don't think. Snow, but the elytra, the amount of elytra this guy sold. Like, I would say the majority of the elytra, maybe 90%, came from him, which is pretty insane. I wonder how many times he's killed the dragon. But if we follow this path down here, we will be coming up on the tavern. Over here we have Radness's tavern. I think it's called the Wanderer's Refuge, right? I think he had like a little naming competition in the Discord. I was just spitting out Sea of Thieves names because this is what this reminds me of, right? It's like a little like tavern, except for it's in a snow biome, which is cool. Like it's an oasis in the tundra. And here we have the bartender. Thought he had a name, but he's quite aggressive. He will not hesitate to kick you out. So the main idea of this place was you would have a quest, and you'd want to complete it, of course. So you'd write it down on a book, put it in here, and put in some diamonds, and somebody will read the book, complete the quest, and take the diamonds. It's a nice way to actually make diamonds when there's so many shops that are, well, trying to get diamonds for themselves, which is cool. Alright. Me and Flamingo had some fun making quests, and titling them and reading them, like reading and writing them like it was medieval times. But over here was the guild room. This was for all of the high-paying members of the council, I suppose. We never had a meeting in here, but I think this is such a cool room where it seems like everyone came together, right? We all our heads and like custom armor for them, so I'm obviously in the top colors there, and we got Luna, Oda, Mike, Len, Radness himself at the head of the table, Void, Rockling, Pattat, Time, Wired, and Harwood all sitting around the table. And if you come up here, actually, you can get a pretty nice view of the surrounding area, so let's just see that before we head on to the next place. So before we go there, we got the gold island over here, like I was talking about, and this weird, mysterious tower that seems to have just showed up one day. Not sure what that's about, but hopefully something cool. Now if we come over here, we have one of Time's other unfinished shops. Don't know if this actually sells anything yet. Oh, I know what this was. This was going to be Time's architect's shop. So the idea was you would come in here and you would meet with him and he would build you something, just like the boardroom from earlier. But actually, it turns out we need to go into the jungle one more time because we have a few more things we missed, including Simrex's TNT shop, Jungle Bums. And this was really cool. He was the first person to actually sell TNT. We had the Pyroporium, but we thought arming our enemies was a bad idea. Simrex, he had no second thoughts. So he sold so much TNT from this place. A lot of destruction was had by this place, including this TNT cannon in here, which I would go in, but I don't want to die. We had a lot of fun shooting things out of cannons in this this thing right here, and I died a few too many times in it. But, you know, live and learn. Then over here we have Simrex's discount store. I can't remember what it called this. I don't think it had a name. But the idea was this would have like all of his junk pretty much. And if you paid a diamond, you could have everything in the barrel. So say you wanted a full barrel of bamboo. Well, 1 diamond. I came here for food a lot because he had like cooked chicken and cooked pork that he wasn't using. So all these potatoes, 1 diamond. And I just think it was a really cool shop to get rid of your stuff while also making a bit of a profit. Then this over here was Pom Pom's fortune cookie shop. This was a pretty cool place. I'm gonna have to disagree with some of the fortunes though. If you've seen that short, you know. But yeah, it was a pretty cool shop indeed. Now if we fly on over here to the Mesa, we have the lock shop. This was made on the other block breaking season. before this, like before we actually decided to like start making videos again and all that. And the idea for that one was it was going to be like we would make security systems for you, and then while we're installing the security system, we would actually kind of use it as a way to get into your base. And it was like a heist. There was a heist room underneath. It was so cool. Might do something like that again. Hopefully I didn't spoil any future plans there. But instead this time we just decided to sell iron and gold. Ooh, more diamonds. Oopsies. But I think it's a pretty cool building that looks a bit like pixel art. Then over here we have another one of Harwood's shops. This was really cool, and I was going to do something similar, but his idea turned out so much better. And this is a copper shop dedicated to the copper golem. See, I voted for the copper golem. I really wish it was added to the game, but I'm sure the alley is cool too. But I'm glad Harwood agrees that the copper golem is cool. Now coming over here, we have the, what's this called? Scavengers Nest of Lost Blocks. So Len sold terracotta and bells and a few other things in here. This place seems a little abandoned right now, but it was a pretty cool shop that sold a bunch of different things. Then coming over here, we have another great shop, and this was Flamingo's Goofy Garage. We have the big arrow for advertisement here, and we have a few things he's selling here. So you could buy Wallace's, and the thing is, there is no description here. That is all part of the plan, right? You got grommets. What, like Grommet the dog from Wallace and Gromit? I assume so, right? But we don't really know. Just gotta buy it and find out. And these were all 1 diamond each, super cheap, so you know, it preys on people's curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat, I suppose. And so he sold garden flamingos, garden gnomes, and rubber duckies. And I think he actually ended up scamming a lot of people, as he said last time, that he didn't actually pay, or he didn't fulfill his duties. And this over here, because I built the Mesa biome here, this was going to be kind of a black market down here, where people could build like underground shops that were hidden, right? So I drained this entire cave. It was all flooded, and this was going to have a river here, and then along the sides here would be all sorts of different shops hidden in the shadows. And then you can see up here I had a lot more to drain out actually, and then it kind of like dropped off, which was cool. It's a really cool cave, and I wish I finished it actually, but I had other plans. Now coming back over here by the chicken, we have Skully Shop, and this is a graveyard themed shop. It sold Death's Knowledge, which I don't think ever came to the shop, but sold graves. So like you could buy a grave in the graveyard for your pets, totems of dying, and a bunch of other different like death themed things. So like die boxes, that contain die. It's like a stack of each die, and death boxes. So when you respawn, you can just grab one of those, and you're all good to go. So there's an example right here on the sorts of things you could get. It's a pretty good price for 25 diamonds, and potions and all sorts of cool things were sold here. So now we can head over here to the new community district area, and this is where Skully has built a lot of her projects, such as her home here. She has a base, but this is kind of like a base of operations, I suppose. And the mail room. This is a really cool idea here, because when we're giving each other stuff, we always used to just leave a shulker box at like a random spot we thought was their base. But this is really cool, where you know, where you can actually deliver something to people, and you know, they can get it, and it will be exactly where you expect it, right? Who's that? Oh, it's Mike. Is my mic on? Is my mic on, Mike? But over here we have Wired's newest shop. This is the big bad barrel guy over here, and this is for, I guess, getting rid of all your resources, right? We've kind of lost all of the competition we used to have on the server, and now it's more about just like giving each other what we need. So there's tons of stuff here, a lot of contributions from the T.A.L.C warehouse, like all these potions I believe were mine. Yeah, the food, logs, yeah, this is all from the T.A.L.C warehouse. That's my trident. I was looking for that. And there's so much stuff here that we've just decided to give to each other, which is really great, because mean, I don't need it. Somebody else might. Well, this is also warehouse stuff too. But, you know, you give stuff to people, you take stuff to people. It's all really good. But now over here we have Radness's candle shop, and this sold, well, as you'd expect, candles. I think these builds right here are really cool, right? Like, it actually looks like it's melting the way he formed the clay here. And so this sold a bunch of different types of candles, and fortunately I don't think there's much stock left, but there it is. And then over here, this was going to be Pattat's pet shop. I don't know if there's any pets in here, but you know, it goes down and it goes up. The deeper you go, I think the wilder the pets are, right? So you might have dogs and cats on this floor, and then go down to fish and axolotls, and I don't want to know what's down there. Might be a warden or something. But then if we go over here, this is Wired's biome, as I mentioned earlier. And this includes a bunch of different things like Mike's furnace array here. So he wanted to make a community furnace system for those people that don't have a super smelter, because not everyone has 100 furnaces they could use at any given time. I'm not sure how many are on this. Might be 64, it looks like. But that's pretty good. It's totally free for anyone to use as long as they supply their own fuel. And then we have Wired's Emporium, or Wizard's Tower. I don't remember what he calls this. Wired's Shop, okay. But this is such a cool build. This is where he moved his stuff from time space. Looks like he's shrinking ahead here. There's a chicken in here. There's spore blossoms, and just the atmosphere overall is really cool. You can kind of follow this around here. It's a linear shop, I suppose, right? It's like IKEA. You go through, and you walk right through his bedroom, I guess, across the roof, and then you go all the way up here, and you can see all the diamonds in the roof here. And yeah, that's pretty much in here, but it's such a cool build. And my favorite part over here is if you stand right here, the blocks there, the shroomlights and the gold blocks, they look like eyes in the darkness, right? You can kind of see there. I really like that. That's my favorite part. And almost as equally cool is this portal right here. He built this in like half an hour. I'm sure he had a design like beforehand he made, but man, it's so cool. Like just the shape and the way it's floating and the crystals going around, it's so cool. Then over here we have Tinser's coral shop here. And this was pretty good because he was selling aquatic stuff already, and now he branched out to coral. I really like the floor in here with the, what's that called? A conduit thing? He doesn't have an actual conduit in there though. Maybe I could hook him up with one. But this was just a really cool shop that sold a block not a lot of people could get their hands on. And now we're here at another one of the biomes I built, and this was the city area. Obviously, Wired has clearly spiced things up a little bit over here in the plots, because these used to just be completely empty. But this idea was, you know, to contrast with things like the jungle and all these natural biomes, something industrial and concrete. And that's also what the Moscow building here does. Oh, let's get inside. And the building we'll first go to is the miscellaneous marketplace. This was designed kind of like an IKEA, where I would sell everything and anything that I could get my hands on, and for a really cheap price too, because this was the point where we were so rich that we had like 70 stacks of diamonds and bought out the shopping district. It's like 2 tokens per stack. T.A.L tokens are a diamond for 5 usually. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. So that's, you know, pretty good deal. That's half a diamond for stack grab. I mean, maybe that's not a good deal, but there's plenty of these here that are really good deals all around the entire marketplace, and that's kind of the idea for it, right? People can get their blocks in bulk if they need them for a big project, as opposed to like another store where it would be like a diamond a stack for dirt or something, right? Here's where we had all the wool, and actually it seems to have sold quite a bit of it, but still, there's so many things we had to put in here. And we didn't actually get too far because, I don't know. Why is there so many holes in my wall? Whatever, okay. And here we have the storage room, but there's just so much stuff in here that, totem sale? Why? Is that even my diamond? I don't know. But, you know, this was going to wrap around and you'd have to follow this entire path all the way through. And the higher you went, the better deals you'd find. So by the time you got here, you would have passed, like, I don't know, at least 50 other things that you'll see and you're like, ooh, I want that, right? And then at one point, let me just say, not one of them sold, but in this corner right here, there was a chest. And it had a elytra in there for 1 T.A.L.C token each. So for 1 diamond, you could buy 5 elytra, but no one came in this shop to buy them, which I found pretty funny. And then you just plop down here and you are at the beginning. Hopefully you turn around and you keep going this way. But I think it was a pretty cool shop, and the size of the building was really fun to make, right? It's a huge warehouse, and I love going inside to actually play around and design things. Then over here, the second shop to be built, which was being built at the exact same time. Ooh. Oh, he got a pretty cool thing here. This was King's Flower Shop, and he never actually fully even stocked this by the time I bought it out, unfortunately. But, you know, this sold all the dyes because he was selling the wools as well, and then he was also selling a lot of the flowers, which was cool. So we bought a lot of those, and we actually ended up using them all too, which was good. And he also lived above there because he doesn't have a base. He was going to live in the casino, but why do I keep hitting that? He was going to live in the casino, but we never got around to finishing that. Whoops. But then over here we have Moscow, which seems to have been taken over by some creature or something. It says do not enter. Maybe there's a surprise. So I'm not going to spoil that. You know, they can see it in probably Wired or Times videos if you want to see what's up with that. And here are all the other plots that never end up getting used, just because there's so much area in the shopping district to cover. But here is one that did, and this was Tinseer's Terracotta Warrior. Funny how both flower and dye shops were in the same biome, which is cool. But this one's stocked, so that's nice. That brings us to the birch forest, where this poor little bee is stuck, it seems. Let's help him out. Go on, little bee. Bye-bye. They were actually heading into that shop. They were going into town for the flowers, because we put a lot of honey things around here, and I worked on this with Wired on his stream. By the end, though, I think he ended up doing most of the work. But I added some benches and grew some trees, put some things around it. I think this place looks really cool. What's that? What is this thing? It's like a big egg. Okay, that's weird. I'll ignore that. I don't know why there's an egg in the birch forest. But this was built as an area that would not have any shops. Why is that a mushroom block? Okay. But this was built as an area that has no shops, just as a kind of a space filler in the shopping district, because we knew we weren't going to build any more shops, I guess. And we just decided we need to fill this space, and I think it's a cool little park where you can just hang out and, you know, it's nice. It's peaceful, and it's got a cool river here. Probably should have made it cut through that area too, but that's fine. But that brings us to the Emerald Casino, which connects to the city through this same road here, and it goes through the desert or beach or whatever you want to think of it as. And me and King worked a lot on this. He built a cool little pond here, and probably the last mushroom on this island is right there. He built a palm tree, and then my contribution was this umbrella and a lot of sand. So this really added a lot to this area of the map, I think, because if the casino wasn't here, I don't really think anything else would be. I think it would just be, you know, wild land. But this was such a big building, and working on it, like designing the actual building itself and trying to fit different redstone creations in here for a year now, which is really cool, and I think this place is super cool. So I think, yeah, I have the list still. So all the different links to the redstone creations here will be in the description. We got things like the Tower of Luck by Rexstone, the Roulette Table by Rexstone, the Mini Slots by Rexstone, the Spin the Lights by Rexstone. I'm gonna keep going, I guess. That was made by originally Cubfan, I think. It's what it is it's a loot box machine, right? So there's some shulkers in there. Really, it's a vending machine, but I did use his design. So what it is you get a random shulker box full of different like player heads, and the mini blocks is kind of the idea behind that, and I think it was pretty cool. Not sure how many sold though. That I was gonna build something, but decided against it. So that space is just gonna be empty for now. This here is the game that will put me out of my fortune if somebody wins it, because if you win this game, there's a 1 in a million chance you will. You get everything in here, which is not a lot by the way, but you also get all of the profits of the casino. So I haven't checked this in a while, but from what I've heard, like people telling me, is like they've come in here just see what it is, and they spend a ton of top tokens. So this place probably has a lot of emeralds stored up, or top tokens, just, you know. And that's all gonna go away if somebody wins this game. Link for that will be there too. Same with this thing here. This is a spin the wheel game, and I was going to have prizes, but I haven't added them yet. But the way this is the light will spin around, randomly stop, and you'll get a daily prize. Kind of like the wheel in Grand Theft Auto. Then over here, this you might remember from last episode, was the stat poker made by Etho. And we had a lot of fun with this, me, Wired, and Pom Pom. Though it was like 3 in the morning, so I was super tired. But this was fun to play, and I really like the art here on the wall. And if you come up here, there's like a little seating area where you can watch, and this would just be a fun area to hang out and like have a games night in, right? The casino. And there's a few areas I haven't filled in yet. The game's over there. This thing's still broken. I'm not sure why. I had only built it recently, and like I came back here and it's just something in there is still moving, which is weird. Then there's the horse track by Mumbo Jumbo, which is cool. It uses somebody left that on. It uses randomizers to determine how quickly the minecart falls down, and obviously the first one wins. Then this was going to be an elevator to the towers, and then these are just standard card tables, which is cool. So you push a button here and it will shuffle cards, and it'll just give you, you know, all the cards. Seems people have been using this though and didn't know how to put it back. There we go. And there's like a shuffler beneath that will shuffle things on its own, which is cool. So that is the casino, but there's actually, you know, a big pile of emeralds with the Lone Guardian. I wanted an Elder Guardian, but he came in a little small, unfortunately. But he's still cool. He was shipped here from one of the ocean temples very far away. And then of course we got the skyscrapers on top, which have yet to be finished, but soon maybe King Domini will have his home, which is right here, the penthouse suite of the top towers. That's these 2 giant towers here. I think they look pretty good on top of the casino. And that just about wraps things up for the shopping district. Nope. No, it does not. Because Wild actually just told me where his shop was, so we can go check that out right now. I believe, if I remember correctly, you go this way and then you head down as far as possible underground, and that is where his hidden shop is. Probably this way? I think it's this way. He just said go as deep as you can and you'll find it, so I will cut to that when I do. Oh wait, never mind. Here it is. Or an extending to. Oh, I should probably back away then. What did those dispensers do? Slime block, okay. But this is Wild's prank shop, so I guess you can buy pranks here or something. I've never actually been here. I thought I saw it. I guess I gotta hit this, don't I? That was just rude. Okay. Not a sus trapdoor. Where's the button? I like this. Nothing in there. Staff only. It's, hit me with a bow. Whoa! Oh no, I hope it... Oh, okay. Should have known I'd be pranked if I came into a prank shop. What's up here? Payment. Oh, so maybe you can actually buy pranks from him. I thought this might have just been a shop that you get pranked. Alright. Prank cleanup. That's good. He's a respectful pranker, after all. Did that? Oh, that's just a regular lectern thing. I thought there was another prank there. What's behind here? I don't know. It's probably a secret. I shouldn't go back there. What about this? What is this thing? It's observers, legs. I don't know. I don't know. I won't touch it. But that should be it for the shopping district. So I think the final thing we should do is head back to the base and we will see the last thing on the server. At least that I had any participation in. Alright, we're just about done with our tour here, but we have one final stop after I shoot that zombie. Although I really want to get this. Okay, that's as close as I'm getting. But our final stop is right up there. Bang's made us a wonderful home here to, you know, represent our business transformation here. It looks exactly like the Onceler's house from Lorax, and I'm really happy with it. It was a really tough style to work with, and she did a great job. But the only thing is the view is kind of bleh. You know, we used to have this wonderful green field of nice grass, and now it's dead. And there's trash. And a broken water tower. And a giant pit full of mob mulch. So yeah, it seems everything we've ever known and loved is destroyed. But, you know, maybe there's some silver lining. We can fix this. Or, you know, as I said last time, we can continue with business as usual. Though, something strange happened since then. It seems that right next to the house, there's a little rock formation. And all it says is unless. And then there's 3 zeros. Don't know if that's coordinates or something, or, you know, telling us to go back to spawn, but I don't know. It's probably not that important, is it? Really? You know, we got money to make, right? Yeah. Anyways, that was the grand tour of the server. That took a while. Like, we didn't even visit anybody else's bases. We just did shopping and the T.A.L.C headquarters, and that still took, what, like an hour and 20 minutes? So for those of you that stuck around to the end, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed seeing what the block breaking server looks like. And when the season ends, there'll be a world download, so you guys can check it out at your own pace, and you can see all the other cool builds that everyone else has made. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!